We've all been there. You're sitting on the couch on a casual evening, flipping through channels, and you land on PBS. It's Antiques Roadshow. Usually it's a nice, quiet watch. A lovely grandmother finding out her porcelain tea set is worth a few $100s, or perhaps a collector learning their painting is a decent replica, but not the real deal. It's comforting, low-stakes television. But every once in a blue moon, something happens that shatters the calm. Something so breathtaking, so raw, and so incredibly deserved that it stops you in your tracks. This is the story of one of those moments. In fact, it might just be the moment. It's the story of a humble, disabled veteran, a dusty old box kept in a safety deposit box for 40 years, and a revelation that literally knocked a grown man off his feet. It's the episode where a $345 investment turned into $1 million reality, proving that sometimes, just sometimes, good things really do happen to good people. The humble beginning. To understand the weight of this moment, you have to go back to 1974. Our hero, a soft-spoken U.S. Air Force veteran known simply to viewers as David, was stationed in Thailand. Like so many young service members, he was working hard, serving his country, and looking for a way to treat himself. He had his eye on a watch, a Rolex. He wasn't buying it to show off. He wasn't a collector. He was a scuba diver, and he'd heard these watches were tough, reliable, and water-resistant. He ordered a Rolex Oyster Cosmograph Daytona through the base exchange. The price? $345.97. Now in the mid-70s, that was a serious chunk of change. For a soldier on an enlisted salary, that was more than a month's pay. It was a massive sacrifice, but he bought it, thinking he'd use it for his diving adventures. But when the watch arrived, something stopped him. It looked too nice. It was pristine. It was beautiful. He looked at that dial and thought, I can't take this into the salt water. It's too good. So he made a decision that would change the trajectory of his life decades later. He didn't wear it. He didn't even put it on his wrist to see how it fit. He put the watch, the warranty papers, the original brochure, and the box into a safety deposit box. And there it sat, for 40 years. The unboxing in Fargo. Fast forward to a dusty day in Fargo, North Dakota. The Antiques Roadshow cameras are rolling. The veteran, now older with the gentle demeanor of a man who has lived a quiet life, steps up to the appraisal table. He meets appraiser Peter Plains. You can see the veteran is nervous. He knows the watch is nice, maybe worth a few $1,000s, enough to fix up the house or pay some bills. He's hoping for a little bit of luck. He opens the box. The watch is immaculate. Because it lived in the dark for 4 decades, the dial hasn't faded. The loom hasn't crumbled. It looks exactly as it did the day it rolled off the assembly line in Switzerland in 1974. It is, effectively, a time machine. Peter Plains, the appraiser, looks at it. He looks at the papers, he looks at the veteran. You can feel the energy shift in the room. This isn't a normal appraisal. The slow burn to shock. Plains starts explaining what this is. It's not just a Rolex. It's a Paul Newman Daytona, a model made famous because the legendary actor wore one in the movie Winning. Collectors go crazy for these things, but usually the ones that show up are worn. They have scratches. The bands are stretched. The dials are sun-damaged. This watch, Plains says, his voice steady but intense, is iconic. He starts with the bad news, or what seems like a reality check. You paid $345 for this. The veteran nods. Yeah, it was a lot of money back then. Plains continues, in this condition, a watch like this usually creates a bidding war. He drops the first number. A watch like this is worth about $400,000. Thud. We aren't speaking metaphorically. On national television, this stoic Air Force veteran literally collapsed. His legs gave out. The sheer shock of hearing that number sent him hitting the floor of the convention center. The crowd gasped. The appraiser rushed to help him up. You okay? The veteran scrambled back to his feet, laughing nervously, wiping his brow. I'm good, he stammered. $400,000. It was life-altering money. But the appraiser wasn't done. The $1,000,000 reality. Don't fall, Plains warned him gently. Because I'm not finished. The room went silent. Plains explained that because this watch was unworn, because it had the original blank warranty papers, the original box, the foil sticker on the back. It wasn't just a watch, it was a unicorn. It was one of the rarest things to exist in the world of horology. Because of the condition, Plain said, looking the veteran in the eye, "The valuation is $500,000 to $700,000. The veteran stood there, hands trembling, mouth agape. But here is where the millionaire reality sets in. In the world of high-end auctions, an estimate of $700,000 is often just the starting line. When you factor in the buyer's premiums, the bidding wars, and the sheer impossibility of finding another one like it, experts agreed. If this watch hit the auction block, it could easily shatter the $1 million mark. In the blink of an eye, a man who scraped together $345 in 1974 walked out of that convention center a millionaire. Why it hit us so hard? It wasn't just the money. If a billionaire found $1 million painting in their attic, we'd shrug, good for them. But this was different. This was a disabled veteran. A man who had served. A man who seemed genuinely humble, who likely lived a modest life, counting his pennies. You could see it in his face, the relief. This wasn't just buy a sports car money. This was security money. This was no more worries money. It felt like karmic justice. It felt like the universe finally paying out a dividend for patience and service. Watching him struggle to stand up after the first valuation, and then seeing the pure, unadulterated joy wash over him during the second, was one of the most human moments ever captured on reality TV. There was no script, no producer telling him to cry, just raw, overwhelming emotion. The lesson for us: we watch shows like Antiques Roadshow for the treasure hunt, but we stay for the stories. This episode reminded us that treasures aren't always buried in pirate chests or hidden in castles. Sometimes they are sitting in a safety deposit box, waiting for the right moment to shine. It reminded us of the value of patience. In a world of instant gratification, this man held onto something for 40 years. He took care of it, he respected it. And in the end, it took care of him. So the next time you're cleaning out the attic or looking at that old trinket your grandfather left you, take a second look. You never know. But more importantly, let this story be a reminder that life can change in an instant. For this veteran, he walked in with a watch and walked out with a future secured. And honestly, we couldn't be happier for him.